DJ Mike C on the track.
Cause that be natural.
Lady D.
Ain't looking tacky. I keep my game tactful.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm so nappy. Cause that be natural.
The infamous.
Ain't looking tacky. Cause I keep my game tactful.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fabu, I'm so natural, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo, fucking these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon, getting these minutes like I'm a typhoon. Y'all is children on that cartoon. Hey guys, and welcome back to Airfros and Babyhairs chat with Airfros and Babyhairs. And today we just gonna be chopping it up once again. So yeah, how is everyone doing today? Hopefully all is well. All is so well. I just wanted to come through and discuss some topics with the fam. There's so much going on, and I don't know if y'all heard what's been going on. So I just want to give a little insight and a little input and give my opinion. Once again, this is my opinion about all of these topics. But yeah, feel free to leave your commentary in the comments below to let me know how you feel. If you agree, if you disagree, it's all good. It's all love. So without further ado, welcome to the show. Now, I am your host, infamous Lady D. Hopefully this will be a riveting episode. I don't know. But y'all, you already know I'm not big on talking. Sometimes I can't really express myself like I want to, but I'm gonna do my best. My mind sometimes goes 10 times faster and processes 10 times the information than what my mouth can. And yeah, I just feel like this would be a good opportunity and way for me to try to get over that and try to, balance it all out. But anyway, now as far as these topics, I do want to say that some of this is old information, but it's still the mere fact that I haven't given my opinion on these different topics. I have so many topics written down. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Now, the first topic of discussion will be that some woman on TikTok claims that flat feet are correlated to a flat butt, and that it also comes from a weak pelvic floor after childbirth. So, I never really thought about that, but that could be true. And if you are someone who has flat feet, or your arch has dropped over the years, then check in the mirror and see, have your butt gotten flatter? However, the way to combat that would be to do like ballerina exercises, where you are doing a lot of walking on your toes, or you can use high heels, walk in high heels more. Also, you can use Kegels to strengthen the pelvic floor. I think another one was to walk on your tiptoes. You can use high heels. You can actually do the ballerina exercises, and see if that will help combat that. I don't know, I'm not for sure, but over the years I have stopped wearing heels like I used to. I know when I was younger I did wear high heels a lot, but now not so much. So I do have a few pair of heels that I will be testing out to see if it'll help that thing sit up like it's supposed to. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, and do y'all agree or disagree with that particular theory? I don't know. Now, the next topic is
that everybody know that Jerry Springer passed away not too long ago. But the surprising thing about this is Jerry Springer had secret children. And his secret children were all black. And they were by this black lady that never told her children who their dads were. But Jerry Springer was secretly in love with this woman. However, he did not raise his children, or, you know, he wasn't in their lives due to his wife. His wife was, of course, Caucasian, and they had 2 daughters. And she threatened him that if he left her for this black woman, and if he had anything to do with those children, that she would expose him and, of course, leave him and take all of his money. However, when Jerry Springer died, he left the will and left all of his money and properties and everything to his children. And they were shocked. But I am confused as to how their mom never told them who their dad was. And I think he had 2 daughters and a son, you know, outside of his marriage. And, you know, they do not look like biracial people, the typical biracial look. They actually look black. So, yeah, it was unbelievable. But I just don't know what to say. But at least, you know, he left all of his wealth to his children that he couldn't, you know, be a part of their lives. And he really didn't leave anything for the children that he did raise. I think he did that because, you know, throughout their childhood and growing up, he provided everything for them. They lived in, you know, luxury. So I guess he looked at it as, you know, these children didn't get that opportunity. So now, you know, they can. So I thought that was interesting. You know, kudos for him for at least doing that part, because, you know, it's some celebrities and, you know, public figures that are of a different race and are married who actually have outside children that they don't even claim that are of a different race. Like, for instance, Bill Clinton. I've seen his outside son come forward a few times, and that dude actually looks like Bill Clinton to me. And now he has children, and he wants his children to know their grandfather. But, you know, Bill is not claiming him. So I don't know, you know, why not? I mean, he looks just like him. But, you know, I don't know what's the point of not claiming your children. I don't understand that. But I guess, you know, men can do that. Anywho, let me know y'all thoughts on that as well, with Jerry Springer leaving all the wealth to the blacks. So yeah, let's see what else is on the roster. The Brat gave birth to a little boy on June the 6th, who was 7 pounds, 8 ounces, and 20 inches long. Congrats to the Brat. However, I really think that her situation is very interesting, because, as you know, Brat is married to Judy, and they went through in vitro to have a baby. First it was Judy, and then it was the Brat, because for some reason Judy kept miscarrying or something like that. But they went through the whole process of finding a donor and all of that. And for some reason, they didn't want a donor that was melanated, which was interesting. However, they came back and said that it was because they had like very limited melanated people to choose from, and also I think that was it. And I think Brett had an issue with the melanated person being a bum or whatever. I don't know how I really feel about that, because when it comes down to stuff like that, just because you're seeing these Caucasian people listed, or these Caucasian men listed in some booklet, they can put whatever they want to right now. It could have been a homeless dude coming in, needed some money, needed a sandwich, and came in and put on the application whatever he wanted to put. He could have said he was a doctor, he was wealthy, he came from a Jewish bloodline, all of this capping. And none of that could have been true. And also, he could be prone to a lot of diseases. His family could have a lot of diseases and ailments and malfunctions. So just because you're choosing a specific race doesn't mean that you're not choosing, or you're not choosing or accepting issues in certain characteristics, because people been lying on applications. So I don't know if I agree with their choice and why they chose someone Caucasian to make this child with. And the other strange thing I thought about this whole situation is that although Brett is carrying the baby, or carried the baby, she didn't use her own egg. So it's Judy's egg, some Caucasoid's sperm inside of Brett's body. So in other words, Brett is ultimately the surrogate, which I don't understand why she didn't use her own egg. That was bizarre to me as well. I don't think I ever get that part. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts on this as well. Like I said, it seems a bit bizarre. I thought for the longest this was Brett's baby until I was informed on other information about the whole Get Up. I don't really follow them or watch their show or anything like that. To my understanding, the whole thing was documented on their show. Now, I was a Brett fan. She's a fellow Aries as myself. But yeah, I followed her career as far as rapping. But now, since she got out of jail, I really haven't followed her career since then. And I seen one episode, I think it was on Jermaine's show. It might have been Bow Wow's show. When I was watching reality TV like that, where she was boosting Bow Wow's head up to fight these people in these clubs, like she was gonna literally have his back. But then when things got real, she wasn't even trying to help Bow Wow. So I'm like, why you souped his head up like you gonna have his back, all this and that? I don't like when people get down like that. It's almost like she was setting Bow Wow up. It was almost like she was acting as the op to me. So it's like, why tell him all that if you're not gonna make sure he's straight? Because if it wasn't for you, he probably would have never had to bang with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because watching the show, you could tell that Bow Wow really didn't want them problems. He wasn't really trying to fight nobody, especially, being that we've heard in the media that he have gotten beat up a few times by girls. So I'm sure he didn't want them problems with no dudes. But if you got your tomboy homegirl and, you know, the rest of y'all clique telling you they got your back, and Brat being the ringleader in all this, and then when, you know, things get real, none of these people have your back and you ultimately get beat up. So yeah, that's not cool, but you could tell he didn't want to do that. Anywho, so after that, I stopped kind of like fooling with Brat, because I'm like, she too old to be setting people up like that and acting like she gonna bang with these dudes, and she ain't really about that life. So I really stopped following her behind that. But anyway, let me know y'all thoughts. What do y'all think about the Brat having a baby and her acting as the surrogate? Yeah. And have y'all seen the baby? Because they've been posting, you know, his little pictures and stuff like that online. I don't think, well, maybe he does look a little bit like Judy, but he doesn't look like Brat at all. He does have really, really pretty hair. But that's all I can say about that. Anyway, what else is on the thing? Now, this is one topic I have been wanting to talk about as well. This is off on another note, and it is about the Shanquella Robinson situation. I find that situation so strange. Now, to my understanding, it was, let me think of those people's names, child. So it was Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, Khalil Cook, Malik Dyer, and Nazir Wiggins. Now, from how I understand the story, it was supposedly Dejanay's and Nazir's birthday. And Khalil Cook is actually supposedly Shanquella Robinson's best friend. Now, these people had already planned this vacation, and for some reason or another, Khalil waited to the last minute to invite Shanquella. Okay, so not only did Shanquella have her reservation about coming, and how do we know this? Because she ended up coming very late. I think she had her reservation about coming because I don't really believe that she got along with Winter, Elise, and Dejanay that well. So anyway, she comes to the villa, and everybody was treating her, you know, kind of like standoffish, like they didn't really want to, you know, get down with her like that. Certain footage that I saw where like she was outside and then she came in like looking for them, like we supposed to be by the pool, but everybody was in the back of the house, in the back of the villa, in a room piled up in there together, like acting real funny, like they was planning whatever they were gonna do to her then. Now, I find it mighty strange that the birthday boy wasn't there. And I really believe that he knew something was going to go on and he didn't want any parts of it. I feel like he purposefully decided to come later. It's almost like he was going to let them do whatever they was going to do, and he'll show up when it's over. And I think all of this was about her, getting her money. To my understanding, Shanquilla was a boss. You feel what I'm saying? And she was soft spoken and all of that. Really wasn't like the type that'll fight. She might get smart with you or whatever like that, but she didn't come across as the type that would fight anybody. And I think these people knew that. Like they were saying, she went to college with these people, but the only one she was really close with was Khalil. So how do we know she was close to Khalil? It's because he had been on several vacations with her family, meaning that they were really cool. Now, where they went wrong as friends, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when people are becoming successful in their own right and you've been tagging along, helping them out, or trying to get your stuff off the ground as well, sometimes people can get jealous of your success if they're not able to reach those levels as well. So I feel like because out of the clique, Shanquilla was the only wealthy entrepreneur out of the group. I think that's what made them jealous of her. Yeah, everybody else was working for someone else. And if they wasn't working for someone else, they were trying or struggling to get their own businesses off the ground, whereas Shanquilla had multiple businesses that she was acquiring wealth from. So I think, all of it was based in jealousy. And they chose her as the target because they had access to her. They knew her from school. They knew she liked to travel. They knew that she had the means to travel. And they probably also knew that she would not fight. Because if you go to school with somebody and you're constantly seeing them in altercations, but this person never fights, she always tries to resolve in different ways other than fighting. So, and plus Khalil having that access to her on multiple levels, he knew that firsthand. You get what I'm saying? He knew probably how she sleeps, how easy it is for her to get drunk and become even more vulnerable. He knows, where she keeps her money. He probably has access to her phones. Like, that's the type of stuff that besties do. You get what I'm saying? But it's a shame that your best friend would help to plot all of this against you instead of coming to you and, asking for advice or asking for your help from some, by her being a successful businesswoman. If he was jealous of her, just pick her brain, ask her to help you brand your business, market your business, ask for her help. And I'm sure if you're her best friend, she wouldn't have no problem with it. And then being that she was already wealthy, she probably would have invested. So it's just crazy to me why they did her like that. Now, anyway, and the reason why I believe that Khalil had something to do with it, because that very first video that came out with her walking through the actual villa from outside by the pool where everybody was supposed to be, she walked to the back room and found everybody back there, even Khalil. So to me, that means he was a part of the plot. He was the main part of the plot, because she was only there because he asked her to be. Those other girls didn't ask her to come. So it's just ridiculous. But I'm sure everybody knows the chain of events that took place. But what I don't understand is why none of them are being charged, because they're saying that they can't really prove that these people did this to her or the causing of that. It's like, first of all, by them just luring her over there is a form of kidnap. Them having her, bombarded in a room, like they were blocking all of the exits. She was kidnapped in that moment as well. Also, even if Dejanay is not responsible for the deletion of Shanquella, she is responsible for the assault on Shanquella, because we did see the video where this girl was literally torturing and beating this girl and slinging her around. So I think someone should be charged. As a matter of fact, Dejanay should be charged with assault, if nothing else. Kidnapping, assault, they stole her money. That's robbery and theft. Almost in a sense, it could be considered as sex trafficking, because y'all lured her to this other country and then brutally attacked her while she was butt naked asleep. So we don't even know why would you wait until someone is asleep and butt naked to attack them. And if she did pass out with those men being there, what happened to her body? What happened to her body after all of this happened? We don't know if they sexually assaulted her. We don't know anything. We don't know if they let people in Cabo come in and sexually assault her. The actual citizens. We don't know what happened to that girl. So, but we do know what we saw. We saw her get attacked and assaulted by Dejanay. We saw them bombard her in a room where she could not get away. That is kidnapping. We know that she was lured to Cabo by her very best friend, which is Khalil, and that is trafficking. Because you knew you were not telling her to come over here to have a good time. You were telling her to come over here so that y'all could torture her, rob her, beat her, and or sexually assault her. So I don't understand why her family is not pressing for those things. Okay, we don't have to go with them deleting her. Let's go with all the other things. And then y'all deny her medical care. Y'all deny her all of these things. So they should be charged for those things as well. So I don't understand why America is not doing anything. It's like any other time. Y'all love throwing people behind bars for petty things like, weed and natural herbs from the earth. And then you have, on the other hand, another guy over here serving this long sentence for just pow-powing at someone's feet, but did not delete them. But this girl is actually gone. She's deleted. And nothing is being done. That is so crazy to me. So I think people actually need to really figure out what it is that we need to do to make sure that this girl gets justice. I don't believe that, she was a bad person. I don't believe that in no way or form that is the way she was supposed to leave here. I don't believe in no shape or form is that's what, that was any kind of karma, anything like that. I don't know. But I don't think we need to let this go, being that all this other stuff is happening and we're just moving on like, you know what I'm saying? Like this never happened. Okay, they got off, so let's just let it go. No, this case needs to be reopened and there needs to be charges pressed. If it was your daughter, your niece, your sister, you would want the same. So let me know what y'all think. So So yeah, guys, I was just thinking, can't we as citizens still make citizens arrests, or is that not a thing anymore? Because if we can still make citizens arrests, we need to arrest this Cabo 6 on Shanquilla's behalf and lock them up somewhere in a basement. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to take, matters into your own hands to, make sure that justice is served in our community. But anywho, I don't want to put, too many thoughts in people's heads. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. I hope that her and her family do somehow get justice. Because I don't see how none of those people are not being charged with anything. That's crazy. As much as, America try to keep these prisons full, and, I just don't get it. But anyway, moving along. So I saw a video the other day where this, I guess it was like in a mobile home park, and these were all, mayonnaise people, and it was one guy out there. He was just throwing like big chunks of concrete at one of the trailers, and throwing the big block at people's window, and a couple times the rock went through the window. Now I don't know if anybody was in the house, any kids was in the house or whatever like that, if he actually hurt somebody by throwing these big blocks of concrete through the window. However, it was a few people standing outside, and then one dude jumped on his golf cart and he literally ran over the dude that was throwing the blocks in people's windows, and he literally drugged the dude like so many feet. And it's like, I know that dude is unalive after all of that. And it's like, nobody ran to call the cops, nobody called the ambulance. It's like things go on differently in the mobile home parks of mayonnaise society versus what goes on in the hood. So I just thought that was interesting, and that was very barbaric what was taking place. I don't know if these people were on drugs, but they look like middle-aged people. They didn't appear to be on drugs, but sometimes people get drunk and act weird. I didn't really find out why the dude was throwing these big blocks of concrete and big rocks in these people's houses. I don't know what all of that stemmed from, but I'm sure it's some skin and muscle mass missing from his body part now. So yeah, let me know if y'all saw that video. I thought that was wow.
No, it's not funny.
Yeah. Also, let's see. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I just wanted to get to a couple of these topics. I guess we'll talk about the Carly Russell situation. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that flyer on Facebook of her supposedly missing, and it was just something in my spirit told me that was some BS from the pits of hell. So I did not share that. I glanced at it, and I think I mentioned something about it to D-Man, because I just glanced over it. I didn't really just read the whole entire article, because from the beginning, I just failed to believe that somebody would literally use a baby on the side of a busy highway to try to lure people. Like, into the woods. Like that, to me, if that doesn't sound like one of the most dumbest criminals with that plot, like that didn't even make sense. Not even for a dumb criminal. So just listening to the story and, you know, finding out how everything unfolded, it just kept getting more and more bizarre. Especially after seeing the footage. And it's like she started creeping up the side of the highway and kept going and kept going and kept going, just creeping, just creeping, just creeping, just creeping. And it's like, clearly there is not a baby. I don't see a baby nowhere in sight. I mean, her headlights are on, all of the passing traffic headlights are on, and you never saw a baby whatsoever. And then she gets out, walks behind the car, goes to the other side, and then next thing you know, she's gone. Just a few short minutes later, here comes the police. And they can't find this girl nowhere. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I grew up in the South. I used to play in the woods and everything like that. The first thing that I thought about in those woods, you have trails, you have roads, you have pathways that people that's not familiar with their area will not know about. But if you grew up there, you know about these paths, these trails, these roads. You know how to maneuver. You get what I'm saying? So for her to be able to get out of Dodge that quickly, either somebody was in the actual woods waiting on her, could have been on a scooter, could have been on a bike, could have been on a motorcycle for all we know. But it could have been somebody waiting on her, or she knew her way to the other side where the neighborhood was. All you have to do is follow the paths. We create paths as children. Now, I don't know why would children be back there trying to make a path from the neighborhood to that highway. Because even as a kid, and I used to be out out playing every which way, but a highway wasn't a place where I wanted to play near. So I don't know, but I think she knew a specific path to get to the other side so that she could get out of Dodge. I think that her wearing all black, that was an indicator that she was plotting this whole incident. I think that she did not know it was a camera recording her every move. I don't think that was part of the plan, but by her having on all black and then intricately taking off her smartwatch, putting it in her purse, taking off her wig. Of course, $500, $600 wig. You're not going to want to have your wig messed up in the woods. You know what I'm saying? With grass and rubbish all in it. So, of course, you're going to take the wig off. Leaving your phone, all of these tracking devices. Because if it's an iPhone, other iPhone users in your phone can track where you are. Smartwatch, same thing. So you deliberately left this stuff behind. And yeah, so later on we get a chance to listen to the actual 911 call. The 911 call, she's saying she's seeing a baby on side the road. The baby is Caucasian with a white t-shirt on and a white diaper. So I think that's another idea that she came up with to make the people rush to the scene. But it was one of the most stupidest ideas in the world, because a white baby is more valuable than a grown black woman. Because typically, if a grown adult woman is so-called missing, they are not even going to search for her for the first 48 hours. So why is it in this case did they jump on the scene and start looking for this girl with this baby? Because they were looking for the baby and not the girl. However, it's like now she's looking like a suspect. You claim that you saw a baby on side the road. Now we can't find you or the baby. So at this point, the cops are probably looking like, did this girl take the baby? Did she run off with the baby? And the other bizarre thing about it is, like, if there was a baby, why didn't anybody else see the baby that was passing on that same highway? And how in the world did she see the baby at night in the dark, going like anywhere from 55 miles per hour to 70 miles per hour with that high grass? She claimed this was a baby, more or less a toddler, up to 4 years old. That means this child is only about 2 feet tall at the most. That grass was up to those cops' knees. The rescue searchers or whatever, that grass was all the way up to their knees. Like, how did she manage to see a baby and the grass was that high? So I don't know, it was just bizarre. But when I saw the footage of her driving so slow on the side of the road, it almost looked like she was looking for an indicator to actually stop. Like maybe she was looking for a stick or something posted right there at that spot, so she'll know this is where I need to stop so that I can get on this trail and run to the other side. I don't know. But it didn't appear to me like she was looking at a toddler. Because how in the world is a toddler going to be walking that fast in the dark, doesn't know where it's going, and it did not run out in the street, and you did not get out of your car to see about this toddler at no point in time during that 911 call? So it's just, the whole situation was bizarre. So it just seemed like it wasn't real. She was up to no good. Also later, at the press conference, I think, well, first of all, I think after everything got so big and blown out of proportion, her actual parents came on TV a couple times and was trying to say what type of person she was and asking everybody to look for her. And then the boyfriend said something, no, I don't think the boyfriend had said anything yet, but the parents came forward, had all of these people looking for her. And then even one lady whose daughter actually did get abducted, and the girl was actually deleted. At 15 years old, she was out there leading the way, trying to help find this girl. So after that, the next thing you know, the girl shows up at her parents' house on foot. And supposedly telling the cops that she was, she got out of the car to actually see about the baby. And some man jumped out of the bushes acting like he was talking to the baby, and then eventually threw her over his shoulder and made her jump over a fence. Now I'm like, even with that, okay, if this man threw you over his shoulder and he also has a baby and told you to jump over the fence, it's like when he told you to jump over the fence, you didn't say this man had a weapon. You didn't say this man had you at knife point, gun point, none of that. So when you jumped over the fence, he was on the other side with a baby. At that point, she could have ran. But however, she jumped over the fence and waited on him to get his butt over the fence with the baby. And obviously the snacks as well, because she did have food. Now, from there, she says she ended up in the back of an 18-wheeler with a woman. So it was a man, a baby, and a woman. She never saw the woman because they blindfolded her. I mean, the story was bizarre. However, it's like you're blindfolded, but your hands are free. And they have you in the trailer part of an 18-wheeler and you broke away. Everybody knows 18-wheelers lock the trailer from the outside. So how did she break out of the 18-wheeler if it was locked from the outside. Anywho, if they did slip up and leave the trailer unlocked, then okay, your hands are free the entire time. You could have taken the blindfold off at any moment in time. And to say that they didn't tie up her hands and wrists because they didn't want to leave marks, like, so they care about your skin around your wrist, but not the skin around your eyes. Anyway, the whole story was bizarre. And then you ran off and they picked you up again, this time in a car, but you was able to get free again because they took you to a room this time and you were able to get free again, and you were able to run all the way through the woods all the way home. So even that in itself is bizarre as well, because anybody who is breaking free is going to try to get to the nearest phone, the nearest person, to let them know they in danger, they've been abducted. You ran all the way home without making contact with anyone else. You have the whole highway on the side of the wooded area that you could have ran to and saw thousands and thousands of passing cars that would have stopped for you the same way you claim to have stopped for that baby. So I just find it hard to believe, like, none of that made sense. And for them to come out later and say that she actually stole from her job a robe, some toilet tissue, and made all these inquiries on her job's computer system, and then leaving work, going to Target and buying the snacks, and the snacks being one of the items you said the abductors fed you. And then not even mentioning, like, the woman who was, playing with your hair and feeding you the snacks. Did she sound to be black? Did she sound to be white? Did she sound to be foreign? It's just weird. But ultimately, I didn't believe it from the jump. It's really hard to say why she really did it. People have said that she was trying to get her boyfriend back because at the time they weren't together. And he had been rumored to have been sleeping or seeing some stripper that she had been into it with. They said she had been failing out of school. She had been stealing from her job money over a period of time. Hence the money in her sock that the abductors let her keep. So, yeah. And then to turn around and find out that she only had to turn herself in and pay a $200 bond. Behind all of that is absurd. But I guess you could say in the process of all of this happening, nobody got hurt. Nobody really was in danger. I don't know. That whole situation was bizarre, and I think people need to stop trying to come up with these plots, ploys, schemes, scams, knowing that everyone has access to cameras. It's cameras in street lights. It's cameras where you think there aren't any cameras. You get what I'm saying? They knew, I guess, via cameras in Target exactly what she purchased. They were able to access information on her phone that she might have thought was deleted. I mean, the technology is so advanced. You would be stupid to try to commit such stupid crimes thinking that you're gonna get away with it. And then I think that to try to put it on somebody of a different race, you know, trying to say that these particular people tried to abduct you, like it's almost giving this Jussie Smollett situation where you're just basically lying on these people, ultimately causing more division in the people. So it's like, girl, was it even worth all that? And I've heard that it may end up being some lawsuits, like civil suits against her, because the job, that particular place she was working at, was like they have been having a hard time getting customers to come in. It's like they're being tied to this whole scam, and you know, people don't want to visit the specific location based on her creating this illusion. And yeah, they're losing money, they're getting bad publicity. So it may be some civil suits, it may be, you know, other things that come about. She may not ever be able to work in that town again. And ultimately they can, what's the word I'm looking for? Like petition to have that family move out of that whole community. So, cause I heard like even the neighbors were bringing them food morning, noon, and night, giving them money to help pay for their bills and stuff like that, so they could focus on looking for their daughter. So it's like, for this to all be a sham, a scam, like, yeah, I would be upset too. But yeah, that's a lot. Let me know what y'all think about that situation. I don't even know if I broke it down all the right way, but I'm just basing it off of bits and pieces of what I remember, because this is a whole situation I do plan on forgetting, and I hope nobody else tries this, even though I did hear that it's been girls across the nation that have been mimicking what Carly has done. But the only thing is, in different states they have different laws. So although Carly might have, you know, just got a couple of misdemeanors, that may not be the case in a different state, different city. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But yeah, I think since we getting close to an hour, I think that I'm going to leave the rest of my topics for another chat session. I do have a few more things that I want to talk about that have come across, you know, my desk. You know, some more tea I want to get into, some more scandals, and some more shocking things that are going on, and I just cannot believe this is where we are with this. But I do want to speak on a couple more things, because I really would like to know how other people are feeling in regards to this. But yeah, y'all, I think this is where I'm going to end it. So I do want to invite you all to join Airfros and Babyhairs on our other platforms. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. We now have a Patreon. We are also on Discord. We are on Instagram, even though we don't post as often as we should, but we're trying to get better at that. We also have a Shopify store. It is airfros-and-babyhairs.myshopify.com, and we do have a lot of merch for you guys to choose from to support us, support the team, support the fam, support the I'm So Nappy gang. Also, what else do we got going on? I think that's about it for now. Let us know what y'all would like to see as far as our videos are concerned. Give us some ideas. Don't be afraid to hit us up. You can email us at airfrosandbabyhairs@yahoo.com. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time and energy. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace and love. And as always, be blissful.
DJ Mike C on the track.
Cause that be natural.
Lady D.
Ain't looking tacky. I keep my game tacky.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm so nappy. Cause that be natural.
the infamous.
Ain't looking tacky. Cause I keep my game tacky.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fabu, I'm so natural, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo, fucking these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon, getting these minutes like I'm a tapu. Y'all is children on that cartoon, and I'm still on top of these buffaloes. I'm so natural, I'm so nappy. All these dudes that wanna get at me, I'm so cultured and I'm happy. Jealous witches wanna come back me, cause I'm comfortable in my skin. End of the day, you lose, I win. I'm so comfortable in my ends, don't care if I make or lose a few friends, and I look like $1 trillion. Lady D won a lotto, cause in the Lord I trust, and beauty is the motto. Naturally thick in the butt, I'm Billy Blanks on the top. Edges a little rough, just pretend I'm from a